here for Talk to Me Tuesday on June 13th, 2023. I am, again, standing in front of the long arm. There's not a quilt loaded right now, but there will be in the next few days. I did go to Project Linus this past weekend, and I turned in, I got those quilts bound, and I turned them in, and I took photos up here on the design wall. I just pinned them to the design wall really quick because I was running late. So I didn't take them outside, but I did put them up on the design wall and take some photographs of front and back, and I will insert those at the end of the video. Meanwhile, I was going to get batting so I could quilt up all the other Project Linus quilt tops I have right now, and as fast as I can, and they ran out like pretty early on. They didn't bring a full bolt, so I spoke to the lady that stores the batting, and I am going to her house today in just a little while to pick up a partial roll that I will probably finish up myself with the tops I have here, because I told her how many I had to quilt, and she said, just take, you know, I have a partial bolt. You can just take that and use as much of it as you need to use. So since it's all for Linus quilts, that was fine. And so I'm going to be doing that today, and I'm looking forward to getting some quilting done in the next week. In order to get those up on the design wall to photograph, I had to take Mamechi down, and that's just as well because I need to put a little stop border around it, and then I need to figure out how to finish that quilt. It looks like I'm going to be able to deliver it in person in late July. That's my plan. So that means I need to get moving because I still have a whole lot of that to piece, let alone quilt. So I want to get all of those Linus quilts done. That's on the agenda. I did pick up, the only fabric I picked up at the meeting was like 1 yard and a little over 1 yard by width of fabric cuts of flannel that I thought I could piece into backs, maybe into one giant back, so we'll see. I might even, once I have the batting here, because I think it's 90 inches wide, once I have the batting here, I may go ahead and piece a giant, like 90-inch wide, that's as wide as I can go for backing. I may go ahead and piece a 90-inch wide back and do 2 or 3 of those tops of my smallest ones all at once. We'll see. The moratorium on smaller quilts has been lifted. Yay! and so I can get the smaller ones done as well. So I'm going to work on getting all of these done. I'm going to work on figuring out what the heck I'm going to do with this thing to get the rest of it pieced. I need to make some decisions with that. Speaking of long arming, I did do a little thing. Those of you who float your tops, you may or may not use a magnet to attach it to your frame. I bought magnets for that purpose from Harbor Freight, but I had never put any handles on them or anything, and they're so strong, they're a little difficult to get off of the poles when you get towards the end of the quilt. I don't always use it for my quilt top. Sometimes I use them to do a little side piece to test my tension on the outside of the quilt. Like I'll just have a whole separate quilt sandwich over there to get my tension tested. And rather than have to worry about loading it on, I can just use a magnet to affix it to the, what's this called? The idler rail, and use another magnet to fix it to the backing rail and not have to worry about having it wrapped around the pole. So, these are the magnets in question. They sell them at Harbor Freight. They're really affordable. I've had them for ages. I don't remember how much they cost. But I put some handles on them. I got these on Amazon. It was a set of 12 of these pretty drawer pull handles. The bolts that they came with were 12 inches long for some reason. So I had to dig around for some machine bolts or machine screws that were much shorter, and I put some little rubber washers back there. And so now I have this magnet with handles so I can easily put it on and take it off. And I did that with all three. So see how strong they are. They're already stuck to themselves here. I got a busy week. My daughter's going to be house and cat sitting for a friend. And for like 10 days. So if I get the urge to quilt at 6 a.m., I don't have to worry about waiting until she's awake. I'm going to be able to do that. I'm pretty excited. I hope you all are doing okay. I hope everybody's well. Jeannie, I'm so glad to hear you're doing better. And I hope everyone has time to be crafty this week. And I will see you next week. Bye.